Enchiladas is a great high-protein meal that can be meal prepped and made in just under 30 minutes. To start things off, I will add into a bowl 600 grams of skinless, boneless chicken thighs. Chicken thighs don't have a ton more calories than breast as long as you remove the skin. This is where most of the fat is stored, so by removing the skin and also cutting off these small pieces of excess fat, you can reduce the calories by half. You can still use breast if you want, however, it's relatively easy to overcook breast in this recipe, so I personally would stick to thighs. Then I will go in with my spices. I will add 6 grams or 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder, 6 grams or 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 3 grams or 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 3 grams or 1 teaspoon of cumin, 4 grams or 1 teaspoon of salt, and freshly ground black pepper. Mix everything with your hands so the entire chicken is coated with all of these spices. Now take a sheet pan or a large baking dish, spray in a little bit of oil and dump in all of the chicken. I will spread everything so as much chicken as possible gets in contact with the bottom of the baking dish. This will lead to a better browning result and a more flavorful chicken. So this now gets into a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 F for 15 to 18 minutes depending on the size of your chicken. In the meantime, I will prepare a sauce. I will first chop up a yellow onion, this weighs 50 grams, and then I will also prepare 2 cloves of garlic. By giving them a light smash with your knife, they get peeled very easily. After that, I will add a bit of oil into a pan on medium heat and start with adding the onions. I will also add a bit of salt, this will help cooking them a bit faster, and then fry them for about 3 minutes under occasionally stirring until they become translucent and develop some color. Then I will push them aside, add in another touch of oil and add in the garlic with a garlic press. I will fry the garlic for 15 seconds or so, and then I will add in half a teaspoon or 1 gram of chili powder, half a teaspoon or 1 gram of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of smoked paprika, and half a teaspoon or 1 gram of cumin. I will toast these spices now for about 30 seconds. This will help developing more flavor compounds and will result in a much better sauce. Next is 200 grams of chicken stock. If you can't find store-bought stock, you can simply combine 200 grams of cold water with 5 grams of chicken stock powder or bouillon. I have always one of these in my pantries for a quick flavor boost. Next is 100 grams of tomato salsa, a pinch of salt and freshly ground black pepper. I will give everything a stir and now let this simmer on a low heat for about 10 minutes. As this is simmering, I will thank the sponsor of today's video, myself, and my newly released cookbook. Low-calorie, high-protein recipes that keep you full and help you lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. Finally, a diet that works. You buy the book once and get every recipe update in the future for free. Everything you need is in this book, from breakfast to dinner to desserts and sides. See it as a once-in-a-lifetime investment into your health. Link is in the description. Next, I will make a very nice green dipping sauce. For that, you will need a blender, and then I will start by adding 200 grams of skyr, or you can also use 0.2% fat Greek yogurt. They have pretty much the same macros. Next is 10 grams of mustard, 10 grams of white vinegar, followed up by 20 grams of fresh basil, 10 grams of fresh mint, and 10 grams of fresh cilantro. This herb combination tastes absolutely amazing. I will also add 15 grams of olive oil and 1 clove of garlic. Then I will add a pinch of salt and black pepper, and then close the blender and mix this for about 20 seconds. You might need to remove the blender once and shake everything. Sometimes it doesn't start to mix properly in the beginning, but after shaking it should turn into a bright green color. The best way to store this is in one of these squeeze bottles. They are relatively cheap, available on Amazon. After you make this, it will last in the fridge for about a week. Also, the dipping sauce weighs about 250 grams and has also 250 calories, which is quite nice because it's easy to track on your macros. Alright, at this point the chicken should be ready, so I will transfer everything on top of my cutting board and chop up the chicken into bite-sized pieces so they can be eaten easier later in the enchiladas. Next are tortillas. This recipe will make 6 servings in total, and therefore you need 6 medium-sized tortillas, 20 cm or 9.5 inches. I can find protein tortillas in my grocery. They have 120 calories with 7 grams of protein each, but if you can only find the normal ones, that is fine. Calories are pretty much the same, you will just have slightly less protein. And now it's time to build. So I will prepare 6 tortillas side by side and then add in the chicken first. I will eyeball the chicken for each tortilla. If you want to be precise, you need to weigh all the chicken and divide the number by 6, but I personally think that's not necessary. Next, I will add in my sauce. I will add 10 to 15 grams of sauce on top of every tortilla. The contrast of the spices from the chicken and the green sauce is very delicious. Then I will add the cheese, and here I have 140 grams of fat-reduced Gouda. I personally don't mind to add fat-reduced cheese. However, if you can only find full-fat cheese, that is fine. The calorie difference is not that high, so go for it. I will add 15 grams of cheese into every tortilla and save the last 50 grams as a topping for later. Next is to roll up all tortillas. I try to roll them quite tight so they stick. Now, I will use a baking sheet where all 6 tortillas will fit, the salsa should be ready as well, so I will add about half of the amount as a bottom layer. Then I will add all 6 tortillas side by side into the sheet and add the other half of the sauce on top of everything. The last 50 grams of cheese will go on top as well, and this now gets back into the oven at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 F just for a couple of minutes until the cheese is melted. And this is how they should look. The cheese is nicely melted. I will add a bunch of fresh cilantro on top of everything, and there you go. So every rolled tortilla comes in with 372 calories, 23 grams of carbs, 16 grams of fat and 33 grams of protein, which are quite good macros for filled tortillas. If you like this recipe, you absolutely need to try my high protein quesadillas recipe that are made with similar ingredients, so click in this video and see you there.